Welcome back to the Melbourne Strength Culture Podcast. I'm just going to say it's the number one podcast in Australia. We're back. We're just putting it out there. Manifest. We are back with episode number 12. We have a special guest here today. We have Beck from Lioness Performance, long-term client, first-time podcaster?
Second, but my first was hardly a gig.
Yeah?
So this is big.
This is big, yeah. All right, fair enough.
Hey, bring a bit closer to yourself.
Yeah.
Cool bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
There we go.
We'll train you up. Train you up. But yeah, we're back. We've actually got a bit of a dismantled team at the moment. So Jamie Buzz, Bruz Mama got COVID on Monday and knocked him out for the week. And then Donnie, obviously living with Jamie, got COVID on Wednesday, also knocked out for the week. So we've got Jeremy Borzillo, the number one man of our content, the most shout outs. He's put his hand up to run the back end of the podcast today. So
He came in clutch.
So we need to know maybe just a few comments of how's it going? How's the camera sharpness look? How's the changes going between camera to camera? Yeah. So that's the...
Get him a mic.
Get him a mic. We actually do need a fifth mic over there. But
from behind the camera.
Yeah, but we are a little bit of a dismantled team today. So, but that doesn't... We will still operate. We will still function. I can feel it. Yeah, 100%. But welcome back after 2.5 minutes of absolute just trash talk there. Welcome to the podcast. Do you want to give a very quick little just wrap of sort of yourself and what you do and how you've found yourself in our podcast studio?
Yeah, sweet. So I am a women's only strength and nutrition coach and owner of Lioness Performance, as you said. So that is of course, women's only coaching platform and recently a gym as well.
Open a gym.
Sick.
Where's the gym?
It's in Berwick, southeast suburbs.
Southeast in Berwick. The hood. Very nice.
Yeah, in the bushes, apparently.
In the bushes.
The
Amongst the sticks. It's hardly the sticks though, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Suburbia.
No, Oh, we went and did yoga out there once.
Yeah,
that time back in
it's
the
literally
day.
right around the corner from there.
It's like a country town. no, it has that feel. No, it's nice.
Like, it's hardly. It's not even a country town.
No, it's not. But it's like it was nice. There was trees and shit. It was good.
Trees.
Trees.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a nice town. It's good. It's good.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think Berwick's not the sticks. I wouldn't call it the sticks at all. No.
No.
I say country town.
Country town. Well,
I said
may
it
as well.
feels like a country town. Feels like.
Yeah.
Do you
like
know everyone?
nice.
Is it one of those things where you know all your neighbours and you... Nah?
Yeah, no. It's not that small. Like
It's a suburb. We're making it out like it's a town.
you're
It's a
making out
suburb.
that like
It's
there's
just a
100 people
suburb.
in that town. There's like thousands. There's fucking like 5 schools around within each other.
Look, we're city slickers. I don't know.
I'm a fuck sorry, but got this country bumpkin in. But, you do like. Well, now I hate it. I hate it low key because I walk around like go to get a coffee and it's like, oh hey, like you can't
Everyone
get a
knows
coffee,
you,
like
yeah.
just because like you're a gym and shit. But the rest is like you still know you don't know everyone. Which is good.
Yeah.
Do people know the Lioness crew? Like, is it like you roll around as a group and get coffees and they're like, oh, here come the Lioness
See that gang,
girls.
like, oh, shit. Nah. Like, you do know people, but it's still big enough to not organise.
I love that we've literally, whoever's from Berwick,
Yeah.
we
Apologies to
apologise.
Berwick.
We've just
For
absolutely...
ignorance.
Well, like you guys, you're like, fuck yeah, I got recognised on the weekend. Like, I get that daily. No, like that's pretty much how it is.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna
so
move to Berwick.
Yeah.
The one thing that I still remember when you first signed up at the gym was you said you'd never met a Greek before, and then you came to strength culture.
Did I say that?
No, I remember. And you came
Yeah.
to strength culture. You're like, I never met one till I joined strength culture. Every second person's Greek at the gym.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There's not many Greeks in Berwick. And you walk here and you're like, fuck, am I in Greece, man? It's fuck. Like, people everywhere are Greek. Like, I was exposed to a whole new world here.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
the Choc ethnicity.
Yeah.
It does run pretty thick in outdoors though. No doubt about it.
We've only got 4 staff and 2 and one being Buzz is one of the most Choc people I know.
And you like breed them as well.
So-
Like half the people are Aussie and they
We-
just turn Greek being here.
Yeah, we just attract what we are.
Yeah.
As we've said, Choc is not an ethnicity; it's an attitude.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. So yeah, do you feel like you got some of the Choc traits being around here?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just like my language. I remember there was a time where like every second word I was like, vida. And I was like, fuck, you gotta stop. And my friends were like, hey, vida. I'm like, fuck, that's really bad. So you just like get amongst the language. So
Yeah,
no,
I rate
100%.
it. I rate it.
You become your environment.
When did
Yeah.
you sign up with us initially?
2019.
Was it the year
I
before
remember.
COVID?
Early
It was
2019.
It was before
Early.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was COVID was the year after.
Oh yeah, because you competed at the Melbourne what was
The
it
Fitness
called?
Expo.
The Fitness
Yeah.
Expo.
But that,
yeah.
that was your first comp.
And I was overseas at that point. I do remember. So that was 2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what brought you into the strength world? Because you were an F45 instructor.
Yeah.
And was that your first gig in the industry?
No, my first gig in the industry was with Genesis.
When
I came out of my
as like a
certs.
PT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which that's an interesting story, but that phased out as I phased into F45. But what got me here was Annabelle, obviously the head coach at the time. But it was just that I was lost with training. Like I actually tried to get into bodybuilding. Funny story. I was
really?
like, yeah.
Bodybuilding or like the
No, I was like, I'm stepping
proper,
on stage.
like proper,
but
yeah.
I was never actually stepping on stage. I just needed like a goal to work towards because I grew up playing netball my whole life. So I was always competitive. And then I phased out of that. And then I was just kind of like, well, what do I do now? And then you just kind of fall in the trap of like, well, I can step in stage. I can work towards that. And that kind of just fell down the drain.
Are you glad you didn't end up down that route?
I can't even imagine. I remember I signed up to a coach. He's like, all right, we're going this, this, and this. And I was like, 2 days in, sitting on my hammock drinking a cruiser, like, I fucking hate this. I was like, I literally laid there, like, half depressed, like, why? Like, knowing that I couldn't just go have a drink or, like, eat something. I was like, why am I doing this? And
It's actually crazy how so many, I don't know if it's more the female side of like the beginners, they sort of get exposed to that bodybuilding or fitness modeling or whatever their categories are. I have no idea about bodybuilding, so sorry if I offend anyone with my lack of knowledge. But that the entry point to so many young girls is, I need to step on stage or I need to go. Do you still experience that with the girls you're dealing with now? Or
I think it's like definitely phasing out. I'm just in an environment where people don't come to us for that. So like we're just exposed to something different. But it is because they just feel like they need to work towards something and then they get lost and they're like, well, that's like the most common thing. I feel like some of it stems from like obviously your body image and working with women in that area, but it also stems from having like an end goal of like, I need to work to this because it's going to make me strive towards this, this and this. Like it gives them an end goal towards it. So they fall in that trap. And then they always do one comp and then just literally fuck themselves. Like it's real bad.
Yeah, well, that's the other, like we've definitely had some people, and this is not just women, but people that have done comps and it literally like their relationship with food, trashed. Their even just like their social, like that's completely been
relationship with training as well.
Yeah, training.
And it's crazy how so many people are fairly new to the gym, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do a comp. It's like, wait, no. This is like a really like it should be viewed as a really advanced thing that you work towards as like a difficult endeavor. Not like I just want to get in better shape. And then often I think the story is people find powerlifting, general strength training, like, I can focus more on performance and not purely on what my body looks like. And obviously that is one of the great things of just a bit more of a focus on strength training and powerlifting because it doesn't involve eating next to no food and passing out and all this bullshit.
That's the other thing. Who's got that quote that like you can partake in powerlifting, but you have to?
Someone. I remember we went to. Was it the UABC or
was
something?
it Eric Holmes? Maybe.
Yeah, one of them. It's like it's not a participation sport. He said
bodybuilding is not.
Bodybuilding.
Well, his speech at the UABC for 45 minutes was basically all the reasons why bodybuilding is really bad for you, and you should only go down that path if you understand what you're getting into, basically. Like you don't just give it a go. Like once you're in, you're in. Like it's
a lifestyle.
That's the issue. Like people, like women go and they're like, I want to do a comp, and the coach doesn't give them the background knowledge or the way that you can recover from that as well. They're just like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be sick. They go in and then they get destroyed.
Get the picture, get the transformation
it's so bad.
picture.
What happens when you're done? Yeah,
Like they never get that
here?
story or like the damage it can do during that as well. It's real bad. But
Yep.
So I was gonna say Buzz's coach because he's bodybuilder. He like lives and breathes it when like that, and I feel like that's what you need to do bodybuilding.
Like on stage,
it's got to be your
stage.
life.
Yeah.
Because there's no going out and slamming cruises on the weekend and eating HSP pizzas.
Cruises are crazy. They're so easy to scull. Cruises.
I don't know.
Real
I'm
party
off them
drink.
now.
You're off them.
I'm off them.
You're off them.
You're maturing.
I am.
No, we're back on them.
I'm back on them. It's sort of
Whenever you go through that phase, I'm like, right, page 23. I'm like, nah, cruising not anymore.
23 to 27, you're sort of like, I'm a bit more mature. And then you get to late 20s and then all of a sudden it's just like, nah, fuck that. I'm going back to the way I want to be.
I reckon there's an element of like hanging on to your youth. We're turning 30 this year, so it's like you go back to your youth and want to just relive those little things.
Take a shot every podcast. we mentioned Jamie and Charlie turning 30.
30, yeah, it's all happening.
Is that what's happening?
It's happening, yeah.
Is there a drinking game? There should be. We're going to get pissed on one of these episodes, but let's go back to with your current group of girls that you are coaching and the gym itself. So obviously the bodybuilding route is not it. What would you say is like some of the philosophies of your gym and of your community that you've built?
Well, it's like obviously very strength based, very much away from that body image aspect. The way I like to look at it is like we kind of put ourselves like filling the gap between where you've got people that are new to strength training and are kind of going through that phase, but then get to that point where they're like, I want to look to something, I want to go for a goal. And they always just fall into the trap of stepping on stage, or like they're scared to go on stage, or scared to step on the platform. So we're kind of like that middle gap where it's like, we're giving you something, we're giving you training with intention, you're looking forward to something, but it's like, it's got more purpose behind it, really.
A bit more structure, a bit more direction and all those sort of things.
Yeah, which then hopefully like as our community grows, we'll stem into powerlifting, or we'll have some that go into that direction. Some are going in that way, but it will more so go that way as they get more involved in it. But right now it's like right in that middle gap where they're finding something new, they're loving it, they're enjoying it, and they're able to progress away from just training to look a certain way. Yeah,
I love it. And the gym's obviously new. So when did you open?
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
How's it all going?
It's crazy. I was thinking about the other day because I thought it would be, it's probably going to bite me on the ass in a couple of months, but I thought it would be harder. But then I'm like, why? I know, whoa, arrogant bitch. I'm like, I feel bad for saying that, but I'm also like, we did spend 2.5 years building systems, building the team, building the community. Like that was the hard yard. So then when we stepped into the gym, it was like 50% of the community we had already been working with for already a year. So like we weren't walking into total newbies.
Oh, so a lot of your online clients have come and joined the gym. That's awesome.
So that was really sick. And then like we filled them up with the other ones. Like the team already worked smoothly together. Good quality coaches. Like everything was so systemized. The process has been somewhat relatively easy. Obviously you have your ups and downs as it is, but I expected my time to be like, I expected it to be worse, which is good, but I think that's just the background stuff.
Sorry as I interrupt this program here from a quick message from our sponsors, Manscaped. They wanted us to tell you that your nuts or your balls need a trim. The great thing is, though, is that Manscaped have created some fantastic men's grooming products that will allow you to trim your balls with confidence. And that's something that I've definitely struggled with in the past and sometimes let that ball throw grow out a little bit too long because I just don't really want to clip the bad boys. But the great thing is Manscaped and their Lawnmower 4.0 gives me the confidence to trim the bad boys with confidence. If you are in a similar position to what I used to be, you could use code CULTURE at checkout and that will allow you 20% off store-wide and free shipping. Our code is set to run out at the end of Feb. So if you're interested in using it and you want to help the boys out here on the Melbourne Strength Culture podcast, you can use code CULTURE for free shipping and 20% off store-wide. So where do you think you got the courage to step into the gym at such, because you did it quite young, and I know Didier was saying this yesterday, we're going to have Becca on, we'll talk about, you kind of just stepped into it. Like the COVID thing happened, and obviously you were an online coach.
Yeah,
and then
I remember when you were first training in 2019, obviously just chatting as you were training here, you were still working at F45. I think you were starting to do like some nutrition stuff, and you're like, you know, eventually we're talking about goals and stuff, and you're like, I want to open a gym. I'm like, yeah, fucking oath. And I'm like, I'm sure she'll be able to get there. Yeah. But then when it started happening, I'm like, fuck, she's actually doing this. Like, I didn't think you wouldn't get there, but I'm like,
not just that, it did in COVID.
It did in
like
COVID,
right at the end of
like,
COVID.
I'm like, this is happening. Like, this is proper fucking, it's all happened. Like, your dreams are coming true. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, it happened fast. At the end of the first year of COVID, I started working with Ro, who pretty much helped build everything. I tippy-toed on it. I would say like, oh, I'm not going to get a gym. I think I was just like putting that under the rug, didn't want to expose that to the world. I was just like, I can't get there. But I knew it was the end goal. It's always been the end goal. And then I think I said it to you one time. I was like, I want to own a gym. That's like, and I think I was just afraid to say it. And then as soon as I did, I was like, everything from there was just building towards that. With COVID, like I was obviously doing in-person stuff prior to COVID. And then with COVID went fully online. And then it just blew up online. Like I can't pinpoint the exact thing. I'm like, maybe it was COVID, girls needed online coaches. I don't know the exact thing, but it just blew up online to the point where I was like, I can't go back in person after COVID because we don't have time. So we grew the online, and then everything back, like in the back end was just systemizing stuff, building our programs and stuff with Ro, and her support, getting to this point where I was like, sitting and waiting for a factory for 6 months. I was like, until the right one comes up, like, we're getting in that one. And then the first one came up, we just jumped straight on it.
Jumped straight in. What was it? It was like a music.
It was a music school. I remember I was literally sat for days. Like I had every notification on for every warehouse that would come up for lease on my mails. Check it every day. I would refresh real estate, all that shit every single day. And this one came up. Like I went and looked at one, and I was going to sign one in Narry, and I didn't want to go in Narry. I was like, no, but I was just getting really impatient. I was like, I want it now. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to apply. And then I was like, I'm just going to check one more time. And what wasn't there in the morning was there 2 hours later.
Yeah,
I was
really?
like, that's crazy. So I called him up straight away. I was like, and everyone has said to me, like, be super chill when you call the real estate agent because you're 23, you're a female, they'll fuck you up. They'll say the lease is X, Y, Z.
Blood in the water.
Yeah, I'm like, so this one came up 2 hours ago. Can I come see it? And he's like, yeah. So anyway, got that one. But it was a music school. So we walked in and it was like 10 temporary rooms. I didn't even know how big it actually was. Like I was like, it's 275 square meters. I didn't know what they were going to do. I was like, yeah, we'll take it. Like it's sweet. I wasn't chill at all. But they were actually quite nice about it. So yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, it's a fun experience that going through that. It's nerve wracking, and I remember when we were going through it, we'd saw a couple smaller ones, and you just get a bit defeated, and then you finally find it, and you want it so bad.
I was like,
but you can't show your cards.
Yeah. I know. It's like they're like, be super chill. So I'm like, like I'm like so excited, but like I think I was relatively chill, but. Because he kept trying to say like, oh, we'll get you in here. I'm like, I literally looked at it 2 hours ago. There's no one else coming to look at this place. Like, I know
new.
I'm the only person. So, I was relatively chill, but it's so hard and trying to find the right spot. But this one was literally perfect. Like right size, right price, good location. It was good.
It's exciting. I love watching it grow, and I know I've messaged you 100 times, being like, keep going, because it motivates us. It really does. Yeah. Seeing other people like just chasing stuff, it's like fucking oath, let's do that.
Yeah.
Like if Beck, 23 years old, fucking just
comes 24.
Yeah, just came straight out of COVID, and he can do this. Why can't we go and do our goal and take that step or whatever it is? Like it's so motivating. So it has been awesome to see. So well done with it all.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's really cool. So what's next then? Just build it up, keep building the staff members up, like.
Yeah, I definitely want to like. So Em's going on a contract now, which is pretty sick.
Nice.
So she's been with us for 12 months, and then we've got Ness as well, who's now been with us for 6 months. So obviously the end goal, when she ticks over that 12 months, get her on contract, but build her to full time. With the community, like we're capped at 75. We've got 72, so we've got 3 spots
at the gym.
Yeah, at the
nice.
gym. So like I don't want to exceed.
What, in 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think it's just, I didn't realize it would feel that quick. Like the goal was November this year.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show the area of the market that is missing. Like I always was like, oh, is it there? Is it not? But it definitely is. But I don't want to grow past 75 yet. Like I'm like, we service well. We know all our ladies. Like we provide the service that we want. And if we exceed that, it will slowly go out the window.
Yeah, you don't want to wash the experience away.
Yeah. So I think like just building hype around that, we intend to have 90% of the same girls if we can have them for the next 5-6 years, that'll be so sick to grow with them and develop with them. But obviously things chop and change. But the end goal is just to, like, I definitely want to go into a bigger space. The goal has always been start here, move into a bigger space, have more rooms, offer more, do more, work with extra people.
I thought you just brought a wellness coach on in some capacity.
So we're like collabing with her, Ali. So she just started her own business. She's like gelled really well with Em. She works kind of like one-on-one with Em as well. So we kind of wanted to work in like the holistic side with us, and we can't offer meditation. We can't offer all that extra stuff. And our whole phrase is like building powerful women. And we know that the way that we do that is through like a barbell and all that jazz, but there's so much more to it. So our main goal is like kind of building powerful women to then go out in their life and just display that in all areas of their life. And we know that involves multiple different things. So bringing those people in and getting them to work with us is going to be really sick. But yeah, there's no like, I want to be in a bigger space and I want to work with more people and have more impact, but we're happy with where we're at right now.
It's impressive. It's really cool. All right, let's change conversations just for a little bit then.
Yeah.
We're going to go to social media, because you used to do these things called Fitness Fuckwit Fridays.
Bring them back.
I miss them. I know. I need to bring them back.
Yeah, if you've made it to 15 or so minutes into the podcast, you can. So Beck has a good business brain and all of that sort of stuff, but obviously can joke around. She just called herself an arrogant bitch and some other thing. This is why we enjoy her company. But what were they? What was Fitness Fuckwit? Because I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I'm like so silly that I stopped. I need to bring it back. I'm like, imagine if, like, it was almost
I
12
thought
months
maybe
ago.
you stopped for a reason. Like someone had said like, oh, don't do that because of your brand.
Oh,
or
my mum was like, you're going to get sued.
yeah,
and I was like, Mum, it's fine.
Because we get it when we...
Yeah.
It's funny it's come from your mum because my mum, and
It's a very large thing to say.
Yeah, they're
Constantly.
so protective.
yeah, she's constantly like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mum, don't worry about it. Like, but I had thought that maybe somebody would be like, oh, it's going to tarnish your brand, and I hope that I was hoping that wasn't the reason you'd stopped it.
No, it
it's
definitely
not.
wasn't. No.
You just
Like
stopped
people
it.
send me stuff all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, you still thinking about that? Like, I need to do it. Like, I think it was just I dropped a WAP on my story once. I full got on the floor and did. Started humping the floor. I was like, yeah. But like, it was so funny. People just sending through. Like, I got people to send through videos of shit that they saw. And
What
I was
were they?
just-
They were like, so for obviously the people who are listening probably haven't seen them, but it'd be like a waist toner thing, like a fucking jiggly.
It was so bad. It's so bad. There's so much shit
There's
out
so
there.
much
It's
shit in our
like,
industry. It's fucked.
It's like getting their arms up and wobbling it, and like TikTok's really bad for it.
Oh, there was an Asian woman who was like tricep, like arm toning, and it was just like,
Yeah, these.
yeah, it's just,
And it's like, I can't make that sound because my voice, but like that song where it's like, I can't even, but she's fucking doing it to songs. She's like hitting these. She's like, how to get toned arms in 2 weeks.
yeah,
And
it's
I'm
like tuck shop arms, and it was
Yeah.
like with no weights, you're just like moving your hands around.
just moving around. Oh, that was so funny. Like, it's just so much dumb shit. Yeah, like tying shit around your waist and like moving. It's just like all these things that are like, get results in 2 weeks, do this, how to get this. And like, they were the main ones. And like, or like eating things. Like,
Yeah. Very much down like the James Smith PT approach of just fucking
Calling
calling
cunts out.
Yeah, calling shit out, like proper shit that shouldn't just be. Yeah, they just pry in our industry. They just fucking, I don't know. They just come in.
Yeah.
They
I
just
don't
see
know.
money.
You're like they're preying on people's vulnerabilities because like obviously everyone wants to get rid of their tuck shop arms or everyone
Yeah.
wants a bit of a muffin top. So like,
Yeah.
and then people aren't obviously. I think we look at it through an educated lens. We've been doing this for a long time. We've got degrees, and so it's very hard to forget what like a layman would. Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's a lack of
yeah,
education.
yeah,
like, it's
that don't
literally,
know.
people will follow it. And
Yeah.
people do follow it. It's because they're like, well, this person's doing it and they look like this, I'm going to do it. So,
Yeah.
like, it is 100% a lack of education. And I also think it's still, some of it's like attacking people's vulnerabilities, but it is also a lack of education on their end as well.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah.
literally think it works. Like, no.
For them to even think that they can sell it. Yeah, 100%. It's
Garbage.
because you see it with everything. You see it with obviously like the training side of things, but then you see it with like nutrition and diet and like just like little. I read somewhere that tomatoes are now bad for you. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
There was a period a few years ago where like I got caught in that rabbit hole. Everything was bad for you.
Everything.
Literally, though.
Everything.
I love the it was like in the 90s it was fat. You can't eat fat, and then in the thousands it was carbs. Like don't eat.
And now
carbs.
it's gone back to fat.
Yeah.
And then
now
back to
it's-
carbs.
Yeah, it's like Lane Norton. He's like, what's next? Water? Like you can't.
No, well, there's like, and then there was people with like the stuff that's sprayed on fruit and vegetables. Like everything possible thing
yeah.
could be bad for you.
Yeah.
And then I just got over it by accepting it. The reality is, it is what it is, and I just eat fruit and vegetable. Do the doesn't matter.
It's actually really interesting though, because we have this conversation. You know people that have been grown up with that, like, because it's changed years over years over years. Like, I say this to my mum because she's obviously gone through, since she was young, has gone through those fads.
yeah.
So working with people that have experienced, I don't want to say older people, but like people that have experienced the waves of all the fads. Like,
Say it, boomers.
getting through to them, or like even training things, like just trying to, like, you don't need to sweat, you don't need to do this, like slow down. Like, they've been through all the fads where they take a lot more work and patience to get them to the point where they actually understand, all right, this simple shit's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to beat like
It's-
30 years of propaganda
Oh.
that's so confusing. It's really hard to
It's fucked.
take some of those ideas out of people's mind. Hard enough now with TikTok, but imagine if someone's been hearing these same bullshit things for decades. And
Yeah.
it's difficult.
They've
Yeah.
gone through so much. Like, so
Yeah,
much.
it
It's
actually is crazy. Like the whole marketing. Propaganda is the correct term. Like you do wonder where like these things started from and stem from, and then you can get into like big pharma, big food. Like why are they fucking,
McDonald's.
Yeah, like this, like the sugar stuff. It's just like, oh, like where's it all stem from? And
Gary Taubes.
Gary Taubes or whatever.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what that is.
He's
He's just the sugar guy. He's the guy that believes
Sugar
his
causes
theory is
obesity,
that sugar is what causes obesity. It does some shit with the hormones, insulin, blah blah. But basically, he was on Joe Rogan.
he was
once,
on
had a
Joe Rogan
debate.
and got minced by a PhD guy, like shredded. But
Yeah.
Joe being Joe, like.
was the diplomat. It was like, oh, both presented
Yeah, he
good
was like,
points.
oh, at the end, he's like, everybody here presented great points
No, they
today.
didn't.
But,
They didn't.
And I'm
They
like,
didn't.
anyone with half an idea, this guy just got fucking destroyed by this.
Because like Alan Aragon had I remember at the
Yeah.
UABC, he spoke that he had a debate with him, and he was like, you do understand that if I drink like sugar water with a bit of protein and I only have 1,000 calories a day and I'm in an energy deficit, I'm still going to lose weight regardless of me having sugar. And he's like, it was just like not computing for him. Like he was so set in his beliefs that sugar is the reason that it was just, that's it.
Yeah. It's an interesting, if you're interested in learning how to debunk that mindset, listen to the Joe Rogan with Gary.
I'm not gonna lie. Early days, man. You hear sugar is bad for you from so many different people growing up as a kid that you start to like, and then you learn a bit more, and you go, actually, probably
It's a bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
It's still common though. Like
No,
we're
it's
just
everywhere.
Yeah, it's like we always forget until you have an experience with a newer person. You're like, fuck, I still think that.
Sugar.
Like, it's
Bread.
Still bread.
Bread's the one.
Potatoes. I'm
Bread's
like,
the killer.
Oh, it's fucked. So
gluten.
bad.
I'll tell you what, gluten and fucking onion is the killer for me.
Yeah, gluten's the
onion.
killer for Jeremy
cooked
over there.
onion.
That's not good. That's not good as an Italian, man.
Raw onion, I'm good with. Cooked onion, I don't know, something in the cooking process.
I love onion
Sets-
raw, cooked, in between, you know.
I have onion.
No,
with
I
everything.
love it.
Yeah.
But the cooked onion sets my guts. I'm like
There you
him.
go.
But
I feel
you're
like
even
everything
raw
sets
onion.
Charlie's guts.
Yeah.
No, just onion.
I've probably got the more sensitive.
he's got
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
milk. Milk definitely destroys
Nah, man, I
Charlie's
just
guts.
drank
and our
750
nostrils.
mils of Dare Ice coffee this morning. I'm good. I'm good,
Charlie's
man.
just accepted it though. He doesn't care if it
Crazy.
destroys him.
No, but they've adapted. A little bit of exposure over time.
Progressive overload.
Exactly.
Progressive overload. So with the nutrition stuff, and obviously that's part of your process, but what are some of the key areas that you are helping, like some of the key steps you, even just if you're a young person out there who's just getting started in the journey, what are some like low hanging fruit that we could focus on?
Well, obviously, just stemming off that is like the flexibility aspect. Like, I think the main thing where people mess up is like going balls to the wall and just start simple. Like, it's more of that balls to the wall kind of mindset where they mess up and then it's like, oh, we'll start Monday, we'll start there. It's always just about like the little things building up consistently over time. And that depends for every different person. It literally might be as simple as just drinking more water for one person or more protein or more fiber for the other. But it's definitely stepping away from that balls to the wall thing with nutrition. I reckon that's helped us the most like over time. If that makes sense.
Would you say that with the people that are coming to you and your business and company, the nutritional aspects are more challenging to educate on, or is it more of the training, or is it just a mixture of both? Or
it's definitely a mixture of both, but nutrition is definitely the main challenging one because there's so much emotional connection to eating. Like with training, yes, there is, but the majority have an emotional connection to food, their feelings, and the things that regulate that. So that is definitely the hardest thing. Like the one thing I've found is clients will message you with an emotional response. Like something will happen, they'll slip up and it's the end of the world. They'll message you and you leave it. Like you got to leave it for 24 hours and then they come back and they're like, hey, this happened. I ended up responding like this. And that's where they learn. So it's always, there's a bigger emotional response to nutrition for sure.
yeah, it's actually a really cool point. Probably something that I've noticed as well, without a doubt. The other thing that I think with nutrition is a big thing, and I know we've talked about this a lot, is that because everybody eats, everyone has an opinion.
100%. I say that all the time. It's literally the most truest thing in the world though. Like everyone has an opinion.
Like when you go to a party and someone find, like you're either maybe like 20% of the people there, and word gets around that like you're a PT or you own a gym, and like the classic one is like you're eating a cheeseburger or something. Like you shouldn't be eating that. I'm like,
or they say, or they don't want to eat in front of you. They're like, oh, I shouldn't be eating this.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
absolutely,
I don't give a fuck.
I absolutely
I've got a funny story about
hate
that.
when people are like, they try and like give reasons for why they're eating. Like, oh, you know, I'm only having a little bit. It's only on the weekends. Like, do your thing. I don't give a fuck
I
what you're
honestly
eating. Like,
couldn't
Jesus
care less.
Christ.
Yeah,
Give a
it's so
fuck.
bad.
So Laura, my now fiance, she nearly didn't go on our first date because I was a PT, and she thought I was gonna judge her for what
Little
food
did
she
she
ate.
So
know that
bad.
we love pizza.
Little did she know that I'm a fucking slob of a man.
You got the fattest. You're not physically fat. You got a fat mind. You got a fat mind.
That's so bad.
We're talking about someone here that believes McDonald's is a restaurant. You got to sit down in the restaurant to enjoy it. You can't get a
Respect the
takeaway.
chef.
Can't get a takeaway.
Respect the chef, but yeah, like I think that's one of the funniest things in our industry. is that everybody, like so many situations, people will be like, oh, like Didier, oh, I'm only doing it today. Like, oh, I'm on a holiday, or you shouldn't be eating that. Like, oh, don't judge me. Fuck off. I don't care. Like,
it's funny. Obviously, I still work at Woolies once a week. No one knows I'm a PT. None of the customers know I'm a PT there. And like people will come and buy some mollies and like, oh yeah, well, I've got all the naughty stuff today. I'm like, just buy your M&Ms. Just live your life. It's cool. I'm sure you eat plenty of good foods most of the week. You're allowed to buy some M&Ms. Like, it's all right.
Yeah.
The judgments around food.
For sure.
I used to feel it too with eating like fast food and stuff, because I do love fast food. That negative, like society's made it so like it's such a bad thing to do, and then you feel guilty about it. And this is going more down that spiritual route with like Eckhart Tolle, but he's like, just enjoy what you're doing. If you're sitting on the couch being lazy, enjoy it. If you're going to eat McDonald's, enjoy the Maccas, because there's no point feeling guilty after eating the Maccas.
You might as well not have it then.
Hey, enjoy that double quarter pounder, wash it down with some Coke.
Yeah.
Nuggets, mad.
We say that all the time because we're like, it's the aftermath that's going to do more damage than the meal itself. Like it's the meal, just sit down and enjoy it and then carry on. It's if you sit and dwell and then build that like shame and guilt cycle where you then just be like, fuck, I'm going to do it tomorrow and do it tomorrow. Yeah. That's the response that's worse. And usually whatever you consume after that in that guilt response is you're going to do more damage there than the meal itself.
And like, obviously, we're not like eating disorders are a massive thing. And I was going to say, like, we have definitely come across people like that, and we refer them straight out to obviously qualified people to deal with that. But it is still a big thing. I'm saying this from my own perspective with my, around Maccas. I used to feel guilty, but now I've accepted, just enjoy them. For me, just enjoy the Maccas, and hopefully that tip does help someone out there just to enjoy. If you're going to go eat some fast food, enjoy it. But obviously not to downput eating disorders and stuff like that, because they are a big problem. And
as we probably all experienced with all clients, it's just allowing them to put that in. And I like to use the phrase indulgent. I get Mackenzie Baker. Shout out.
Weapon.
Mackenzie Baker.
Actually, give him a proper shit. What's his Instagram?
I honestly don't even know. What is it, Jeremy? Mackenzie Baker.
Macabolic
Nutrition is my favourite nutrition mind content creator out there. Sick cunt. He likes to use the phrase indulgent. He likes to talk a lot about how food's more than just fuel. There's important social and emotional experiences attached to food, which is what we're talking about now. But something that obviously we've all probably worked through with clients is just putting that meal, that cheat meal, whatever you want to call it, in perspective. Oh yeah, you slammed 30 nuggets on Sunday, but look at all the positive things you did Monday to Friday. Like, that's not the problem. That's not the reason we're not getting results. And it never is. And sadly, a lot of people are led to believe that one meal a week is going to ruin their gains or ruin their progress, when we all know it's total weekly calories, it's total weekly, or even fortnightly average calories. That's what's actually going to get us placed. So there just shouldn't be any guilt or shame or anything like this around one meal. Of course, if you struggle to work with those things and that doesn't help you, you may need to seek further help from someone other than a PT. But yeah, it's just one of those ideas that needs to die for sure.
Yeah,
pleasurable foods. So Mike would tell us the same thing, indulgent, pleasurable.
Yeah, for sure. I like to call them just indulgent. Like it's not junk, it's not bad, it's just you're indulging. It's not something you want to eat all the time, it's just you're having enjoyable food. Like,
so at Deuce's, obviously Deuce, my partner is a early education child, kindergarten, and they call them always foods and sometimes foods.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
good.
From like a child's perspective, which is a good thing. So it's like
McDonald's isn't always food.
Mate, staple.
Double cheesies, hold the pickles.
Nah, to be honest, you feel like shit if you eat it all the time.
I don't like Maccas.
What's your
Get out
what
of here.
I don't know.
Number one, the front door's over there. See yourself out. But number two, what are some of your sort of like indulgent foods then?
Ice cream for sure. Like ice cream and chocolate. I'm just like, I will smack that. I will easily smack a block of chocolate.
What's your
fats?
Go to?
James, you're fat when you get those bad boys down. I'm like, I think I smashed a whole block of Crunch the other night.
Actually, we literally just started tracking calories.
I know.
He's your coach over here. I forgot. Yeah.
He's like, we've got to get those fats down, carbs up. I'm like,
I actually did say that.
I was in the room when he did the update.
I like just like good food. Like Macca's it's food. Like it's whatever. But like going out for good food is like my. Like,
all right. So you like a higher end, like a I get what you mean. So I don't know if you've seen, we do Hectic Eats, but if you had to take the group of boys, the culture, where are we going?
Take us out to the country.
Take us to the sticks. Where would you take us?
I actually recently went to David's in Perrin.
Yeah.
And it's like unlimited yumcha. That was really, really good. That was, and now I'm obsessed with pork buns. I've never had a pork bun before.
Pork buns are crazy.
Yeah, and they're sick. Or hawker hall. I feel like I just like, you can't go past it. The pork belly, actually. We had a worm in our food once when we were there. It was fun.
Hawker Hall. Shout out.
We love.
Wow.
We love
shitting
I was
on
like, can I
businesses.
say
Yeah.
that? Yeah. No, but can I just say, they took it off our meal and they gave us like 2 free meals. I was like,
So
it's
sorted
fine.
you out.
And
And
it was
the
in
rest.
It was in the lettuce.
And the rest.
I
was
reckon
like-
that's a free dinner.
I was real nice. I was like, it happens. But
I reckon if
It was
you
fucked.
pushed them hard enough,
Wiggling.
if you did a Marcus Swan on them,
100%.
Marcus Swan goes hard on the
if
manager.
we were mean, they would have given us for free. I was like,
free
we're
food.
too nice. Too nice.
You got to
It's
go
fucked.
free meal. Free meal and another meal, I reckon.
Yeah.
Complimentary next time.
We got a free salad.
Free drinks.
Papaya
What?
salad.
You should have been given percentage ownership of the restaurant. A worm in your
Take it
meal.
to Tracy
Maggots.
Grimshaw, yeah.
So it came out.
Maggots.
It came out like in the lettuce. So obviously the lettuce wasn't
All
washed
right,
properly.
so it was all right. Yeah.
But like you get the pork belly, which you have to get if you go. It's so good. And I was,
With worms.
I was telling my friends, I was like, so you put the pork belly in the lettuce, put the sauce on there. So my friend Hayley, she's done it. And she's like, fuck, I didn't put the sauce on. I don't know why she did this. Lucky she did. She lifted the pork belly up off the lettuce to put the sauce underneath it. I don't know why she did that, but thank God, because the worm's like, and it comes out. I'm like, fuck, it was so bad. But they were so embarrassed. I felt
No
bad.
doubt.
I was like, it's fine.
See, we wouldn't have noticed. We just inhale our food. It would be
Yeah.
gone
Well, that's
before you
I
know
wouldn't
it.
have
Yeah.
noticed.
Bit crunchy.
I'm surprised she noticed.
that
You
crunch.
wouldn't have even tasted it.
Did you get that
No.
crunch? No, I didn't get
Worms
that
are
crunch.
soft, man.
I was gonna say worms are gonna be
like a
tickling your
worm.
throat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking more like a
Cockroach or
sorry.
something.
Exoskeleton.
No, yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's little, I actually was like, I thought it was like an artery or something. Like I thought the fuck. I was like, I think that's legit. But I know what it was. But yeah, it was bad. Anyway, Hawker Hall, just dismiss that I suggested that. Like dismiss that I said about the worm.
Oh, it's a hiccup. We all make
Yeah.
mistakes. We all.
It's
yeah.
it's good.
That's all right.
It's
I
real
heard
good.
Hawker Hall has a really good feed me menu. They just
Yeah, the feed me's
They
really
just
good.
keep bringing it out.
Yeah, I did it after my comp here. I actually went
Went
there,
down
did the
there?
feed me menu, and it was sick. You gotta get the
Mad.
pork belly on top of it though. So you get the feed me and the pork belly.
You got to hit the pork belly.
Yeah, you have to eat the pork belly.
Just watch out for the lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, no
Yeah.
worms.
So with your own training then, so what sort of stuff? Obviously, where Beck is one of my clients, one of my very few clients. But where do you want to take your own training and all of that? What's the phase? Where are we going with it? Because I know we wanted to do powerlifting, but then you're like, oh, let's take the year off. Not the year off, but
Yeah.
let's take it slow with the business and.
Yeah, I reckon like, I want to definitely compete at the end of the year. I'd say like I'm like a part-time powerlifter. I like was
Participate.
Like, I do it. Like
It's a
I like to train
participation
towards
sport.
something. Like everything I'm doing right now with the intention to compete, like get bigger, build my muscle, to lift heavier, to compete, to be better. But last year, just consistently training, like it was pretty much a whole year of just prep after prep after
Yeah.
prep. Like there was no kind of chill phase, and I was like, I don't want to do it again. Like I don't want to hit
Yep.
singles, I want to hit doubles. So just working towards, I actually want to do something good in the coming comp. Like I want to work on my squats. Just I don't know what's going on with my squats. Like just it's a mind thing. It's 100%. I'm like, I say it to the girls. I'm like, what's the worst thing you do? You fall on those like the rails. You're sweet.
Yeah.
You're good. I don't know. I just shit myself. So I want to get better at my squats and my bench as well. And then look at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think last year fried a lot of people. I know you were feeling pretty similar with your
It was 2 years of
like the
Comps
comps are
plan.
back and
And
then we'd
no.
open and then the PA
Yeah,
thing.
well,
It's hard.
but even now, there's no like I'm lucky I got Pro Raw set, which is going to be fun. But my expectations are that that's it for the year. So
Yeah. I'm in no rush. I'm like, would rather spend just enjoying training.
I
Yeah.
think that's something a lot of newer powerlifters as well could kind of take on board, like removing this idea that you can training only has to go well if it's leading towards a comp, because no matter when you want to compete, just doing that general building grunt work training is what's going to get you to where you want to go. But I think a lot of people are like, oh, is there a comp? Oh yeah, who cares about training? But like that's not the right attitude to have.
Yeah.
If you actually want to get as strong as you can, if there's no comps, you should still be training. Like
it's adopting Pat D's mindset of his goal with training is just to be the biggest weapon he can be. And I feel like the longer I'm lifting, that's what I'm focusing on. But then obviously by doing that, you're going to hopefully perform well as a powerlifter anyway. So it's like that'll come as a byproduct. But yeah, they don't train hard enough with like 6 months out from comp.
that's it.
They train hard all the time.
Always train hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and find ways to enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Like outside of competition prep and all that sort of stuff. I think that is a massive
But then you've done a bit,
Yeah.
like you've done some different styles of training. You're not solely, it has to be powerlifting. Like you've mixed it up
Yeah.
a bit, which obviously
Yeah.
helps with longevity.
Yeah, I definitely go through phases where I'm bored. It's like I say stuff to Jamie like, oh, can we put this in my program? Can we do this? Can we do that? Like I can get a little bit bored. And last year I was just like, I wasn't even enjoying training towards the end of the year. I was just like, I was just focused on work and I was just like, I need to do something different.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to actually coming at the end of the year, knowing that still I've got time to work on it.
Yeah, and you've also got time to build your business up and
Yeah.
get that thing pumping. And it sounds like it already is, but to
that's
find
definitely my
find
priority.
some stability in all of that, and because it's a big thing, especially at the age, like we did it at 23 as well. Like there's a lot of social pressure to still be like a kid, not a kid, but like partying and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
have you had any pressure from that, like old friendship groups or anything that have?
Not now, because a lot of the girls are now, like I've got a really good group of friends and they're all in full-time work this year. So it kind of like landed at the same time. When I first went in the industry, I was, because I was 18, straight out of school, and I went straight in, like I studied and I was working full-time. That's when I struggled. Because I'll get to the end of the week and I'd be like gassed. I just wanted to rest and they just want to go out and go out and go out. And I was like, I did like find distance with them and they just couldn't relate. But now they're working full-time. They're like, I need to chill this week. I'm like, yeah, you motherfucker. Now you know. Like, I'm like, now you know how I feel this whole time. Like, I did go through a bit of a lost phase when I was like 18, 19, when I was just like, I want to work. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm tired. I don't want to go out. But I still did. But I definitely found distance there. Now it's good.
Yeah, less cruises now.
And you have more people around you that are like-minded. Like I'm like best friends with the members as well. So you can talk with them and hang out with them. And I've got M&S as well, so it's good.
And your partner also owns a CrossFit gym, correct?
Yeah, CrossFit Underway just down the road.
Yeah, nice. Down in Berwick, down in the sticks.
Literally, down in the sticks. It's actually a sick CrossFit gym. I did CrossFit. I did CrossFit for a bit. Like,
How was that?
It was actually good. It was like, they definitely opened my eyes to what CrossFit can be. Like I think they said, like without a biased opinion, I wasn't actually with him before. So they've definitely set the standard for what CrossFit can be and should be. Like we went to Noosa last year and we went to an old school CrossFit gym and I was like, this is fucked. Like I know why people have such a bad taste for CrossFit. Like there's so many gyms out there that are CrossFit gyms that are just injuring their clients and just real like, I don't love it, but you would have never found me in a CrossFit gym if it wasn't for this one. And like I've learned shitloads from them and how they program and whatnot as well that have also impacted how we do our stuff too. So definitely, like it's very much strength based with the style of CrossFit on the end as well. And it's just they have a really personalized approach.
Do they have like a competing team? Like do they go to like I don't know how it's structured, but like is it nationals or regionals or whatever?
I don't know like the ins and outs. There's a lot of like local comps and then they have the big one. Like the thing that CrossFit does, like they shit on powerlifting.
No, they've got the community thing.
It's crazy.
Absolutely down pat. Like they 100% have it. And I think a lot of sports can learn from, and powerlifting 100%. And this is...
They have money though.
Yeah. But there is money in powerlifting. It's just where I think it's spent in the wrong areas personally. But CrossFit nailed that. And they brought community of strength, quote unquote, athletes together and gave a direction and like it's actually so impressive. It's like, so impressive.
It actually is a cult. When I walked in, I was like, holy shit, this is a cult. Like you hear about it, but you walk in and it legit is. Like everyone trains with intention. Like even just your average Joe that just started a week ago, they see the community, they see them working towards a little bit more. Like they all do train with intent and like they're progressing towards something bigger than just getting there and exercising, as you would say. Like they are really good at that. And like we went to Torian last year, which is, so it's kind of, I don't want to get this wrong, but like it's like Torian, which is like they're people from the States. They do the Open. Anyone can do the Open. From there, the top 100 people, whatever it is, go to Torian, which is like your States. And then from there, they go to the big CrossFit games, like you can watch on Netflix and shit like that. Yep. So, and that's like the top 2 people from each region of the world. Yep. And Jack, who is Sam's co-owner, so CrossFit Underway's co-owner, he actually is in that. He's working towards the games.
Oh, nice.
So he's really good. And where was I going with that?
The
things, the Torian. Yeah, got there. Thanks for your help. But
the building it up.
Building it. Yeah. Torian, it's crazy. Like they had fireworks, like the whole stadium. It was in a tennis stadium. It was like filled with people.
Yeah.
Like,
I've watched.
They've done so good.
I've watched a lot of the CrossFit Games, it is extremely entertaining, especially if you're someone who's lifted weights. You
Sort
kind
of
of
knows
appreciate
it
some
a little
of
bit,
the
yeah.
some of the training. Like it fucking shits on powerlifting. It's so entertaining to watch. Like they're doing fucking deadlift ladders, clean ladders,
Like
it's
handstanding upside down in rings.
It's
I'm like,
sick.
what?
Yeah, it's so good to watch. So thrilling. It's all timed. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, and the ones that are good, like they have to be good. They're like not a master at one, but they have to be good at everything. Like they're Olympic lifting, they're doing gymnastics, they're running. They have to like prioritize their training in certain areas, and it's definitely a mental aspect.
We need to get a CrossFitter on here, like a high level CrossFitter.
Yeah.
I wonder who the number one guy in Australia is, or female. Oh, the female is she's won like 5 in a row or something.
Oh, Tia, she's like lives in America now.
Oh,
though.
is she?
She's like, I think she's coming for touring this year. She
Oh,
might be
maybe.
Australia.
All right, maybe that's the
Hustle her on.
Hustle her down. What was that?
Yeah.
Really?
She's doing bobsled. She did Olympic weightlifting.
All right, that's our
as well,
hunt.
yeah.
She's
We're gonna put her up
crazy.
there. We want
Commonwealth
Kyrgios, Toomey, Pendlebury, and they're the three. They're the three
Yeah,
we want to
sick.
get. We're gonna hunt them.
She'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're crazy.
they're absolutely crazy athletes. It is impressive. It's so impressive. Well, then I think probably the final thing would be where could people find you? Where can people search for your business and all that sort of stuff? Like what streams have you got? You were going to do a podcast? Are you gonna
I
call
was
it?
like, I'm getting on today.
What's the name?
Big Tit Energy.
Big Tit Energy. That's ours. That's fucking Choc.
Yeah.
Big Tit Energy.
I'm like, I just keep I was meant to do it. I'd planned it out. And it's like, I'm meant to be in episode 3 right now. I haven't even started. So I'm like, oh, I got the call out today.
What would be
I was
the
like,
direction with the podcast? What would you do with it?
Well, I think the reason I held off for so long because I was like, oh, it has to be health and fitness. I'm like, no, I don't want it to be health and fitness. I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about that. I'm like,
We like
here
that.
we are tooting my horn. I'm like, people like listening to me talk shit. I'm like,
No.
my clients do.
Talk shit.
Yeah, I'm like, they genuinely like
Talk
it.
more
So
shit.
I'm like, I'm just going to get on there and talk. I want to like interview people and stuff, but I feel like with podcasts and females, you look for a podcast. I can't find, I've actually love Laura's, by the way, but like a couple of podcasts that I love. And then it's like 2 or 3. And then the other ones are real like soft around the edge, like it's all pink and it's like real beating around the bush. I'm like, don't treat me like a little bitch. Like they need to be like a little bit more like Big Tit Energy. Like it just
Big
needs
Tit
to
Energy.
be just like
Fill the niche.
Chocolate.
no,
Greek.
Greek.
Big Greek energy.
But like it just needs a bit more like stop being fucking little bitch.
Yeah, I rate it. Well, no, I think we'll be in full support if you go the shit talk route.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because we did what, 90 episodes, 80 something episodes of the.
90
Yeah,
dry
you did
episodes.
heaps.
What
I
was
used
your
to listen to them.
What was your experience, Charlie?
I hated it. Nah, it was all right. It's good. Practice.
It just burns out
But
with
it
it.
just like
Yeah.
it got boring because that's not me either. I'm not like that type of coach. The reason I got into this stuff was because I liked lifting. I also like a lot of balance in my life. I like doing other shit. I like playing guitar. I like hanging out with my dog. I like going to trance events, music events. I like doing all that shit. It's not like lifting is not just me. So just talking about health and fitness and all that crap. It's just trying to find things and talk about research. I'm not the guy that breaks down research. I hated it. So I hate it. Don't get me wrong. Good experience. Glad we did it.
Glad we did it.
Cool. You got to
Yeah.
go. You know, it's a full circle. You got to go through that shit to realize, hey, it's not for you. And now we've sort of found a bit more of our niche. But it's also, and Buzz said this another time too, that when you start doing what is authentic to you, it's easy. It doesn't feel like work. So like doing the podcast, I used to get really anxious to do the quantum lifting podcast. I'd never get anxious on this. I come here, I sit down, relax, kick back. Also, yeah, it's just mad. Anyway,
Mad.
Yeah, nah, I
MAD.
agree.
So yeah, we'll
that was my. Yeah.
that was your experience,
That was a
but we'll
fucking rant.
definitely support shit talk, big
Shit
tit
talk.
energy,
The industry needs more of people not
being themselves.
not pretending they're something they're not and trying to have this super professional fucking front. Just be who you are.
Man,
If that's who you are, be that. But if not, just be who you are.
At the end of the day, I always come back to it. We teach people to exercise.
We
that's
teach
our
people
fucking
how to
job.
lift weights.
Like
Yeah.
we're just teaching people how to exercise.
It's a full circle from what we spoke about before, where everyone assumes because we're PTs, oh, you eat healthy, or you shouldn't be eating that. And this is us trying to show you that, no, we are normal people that do normal shit. We've gone out and got pissed on the weekend. We eat fast food. We live a normal life. We are you. And there's no reason there's no reason why everyone can't have a balanced lifestyle with health and fitness and enjoy life and still do shit in moderation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's cool. So when it does kick off, let us know. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'll definitely be listening, but so we can fucking spread it. Spread it out there, you know. So the Big Tit Energy podcast, not quite yet, still on ice, but when it does kick off, where can people find you and your services, your business, your gym, all that sort of stuff?
Just at Lioness Performance on Instagram, or me, Beck Potalej.
Yep.
And on our website, Lioness Performance.
Yeah. And if you want to train at Lioness, bad luck because it's probably going to be sold out by the time this goes up. Because this one, we're banking this one for next Thursday, so this will be out next Thursday. But thank you very much for tuning in to the Melbourne Strength Culture Podcast. As always, give us 5 stars review on Spotify. We need to climb that chart again. And that's about it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Adios.